know that when I put my rear swing arm back in, I re-greased this. We're gonna take a break, drink some of my coffee, get some of the tools that I need for this, and then we're gonna crack these off and take a look at these two here, because I know I did these two, we're gonna do those two. All right, so we're back, guys. We got some coffee in. Hopefully I don't get that stupid SD card error. Every once in a while when I swap my batteries, I get a stupid SD card error. So you just usually have to reboot the camera a couple times and it works perfectly fine. What I went ahead and did while I was on my coffee break is I cleaned this up a little bit, cracked this top bolt loose, took this bottom nut off. We're gonna go ahead and remove this bolt. I know that I re-greased this and I know that I re-greased this. So we're gonna check these other two bolts on the linkage. And maybe while I'm at it, I might drop my rear spring and properly adjust the sag on it. Something I've been trying to do for a while now. It's nearly impossible to do with it on the bike. You can, I guess, do it. I don't really know how the hell you can do it with it on the bike because it's damn near impossible. So we're gonna go ahead and you can lightly tap this. Nothing crazy, you don't want to mess up the threads on it. Probably best to hit it with a flat surface like that. What I found out was the back bolt size is a 17 and the front size is a 17 as well. So what I did was, since I got it on the center stand, I can't really get in there like this because this kickstand's in the way, so I drop the kickstand down, slide this in there, boom, crack that off. This is actually really hurting my neck. I'm wearing a helmet right this second. Not hurting my neck, but it doesn't feel the greatest. I'm sorry, I lied to you. The back is not a 17 on here. 17 is for the top. The back for here is a 14. So go ahead and crack this off. And I might have to come back to you guys when I get this off. So we're gonna take these bolts off, look at the linkage. I'll be back when I get it off. All right, guys, so we went ahead and got that off. I'll show you real quick. It's literally just the 3 bolts. As you can see, one here, one here, one here. If you have problems getting the bolts out, what you gotta do is you gotta shimmy the rear tire. You can't really do it from the ground on a center stand. It just moves the whole damn bike. So you just shimmy it around a little bit from the top while reaching down and grabbing the bolt and sliding it through. If you got 2 people to do it, it makes it even easier because you can have one down here at the bottom. All the bolts go in through the back side, I should say on the right hand side of the bike, looking from rear to front. So we're gonna go ahead and take a look at it. Now, like I said, I definitely re-greased the bearings on the factory. Wow. That's no good. I wonder how that occurred. This is just the factory, or one of the, not the factory, but one of the, this is the Lazada lowering like I have, and I just noticed that. Look at the bearing in it. It wasn't like that when I removed it. I guess from just throwing it around, the thing fell out. I think those rollers literally just lay in place. I don't think that they snap in place. I think you could probably put them back in place. I don't know. I'll have to take a look at that. But here we are, though. We're going to go ahead and clean this off. Some. These things get so filthy and they're so hard to clean when they're on the bike. So whenever I take them off, to give them a real quick once over. Make sure everything looks good with it. Nothing. That's a really good sign, obviously. Let that dry for a minute. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and get some grease. Just pack some fresh grease in there. Kind of like to spin it and roll it in there in place. Kind of hope to roll the rollers a little bit. Like so. What we do from here, now that we got that all re-greased, we're just going to clean the inner surface area of this a little bit, where this is. It might actually look real fast at removing my rear spring to adjust the sag on that. We'll see. Just going to clean this off a little bit, and then I'll take a quick peek at that. And if it's something I want to just crack off real quick and do, then I will. If not, then I won't. But we'll see. All right, guys, I figured I just should include in here. This was a royal nightmare to get this thing off. And the reason being is because this bolt right here, I don't know how in the heck you're supposed to get to that. I probably should have just left that there, but it goes here. I don't know how you're supposed to get to that, because there's a bracket here with the battery bracket and a coupler or a cable management that's connected to that. You'd have to remove the battery, all these cables. You'd have to remove this tray. This is the only bolt that I see for this tray. And I actually looked through the service manual to see if there was a quick and easy way to remove this. It doesn't look like it. So the other side's accessible. This side isn't. So I had to shove this wrench up in there from underneath here, kind of fiddle it on there. And then I had to have my wife hold it in place while I cracked that thing loose. But here we are. We got the rear sock off. I've been wanting to do this because it's just so hard to do this with it on the bike. So hopefully having it off the bike should make it a million times easier. But I figured I might as well give it a nice quick clean. I'll probably re-lube the bearings here, re-grease the bearings here. But as you can tell, this thing is pretty much raised, and it was brand new until I was trying to readjust it on the bike. And as you can tell, this is why I didn't want to do it on the bike, because it just chewed these up. These things were brand new. So if I ever have to rebuild this, I'll probably replace it. This is a Wilbur rear performance shock. So this isn't the OEM. Just cleaning it up a little bit, cleaning out all the grunge and the grit and all that good stuff. Trying to clean all this dirt and stuff out of there. It's kind of hard to get into some of these spots, but there's something nice and small like this. Kind of cleaned it out, break some of that dirt free. There was a lot of dirt that was in here that just came falling out when I raised that bushing right there up. Take this back out, of course. fingers are getting stuck in there. You see all that crap. See what I mean? It's good to clean that off here and there. All right, guys. Well, we went ahead and got the linkage back on, shocks back on. It's tight up top. Everything's tight at the bottom. Everything's re-greased. I figured I wouldn't show you guys it completely step by step, which was going to be nearly impossible anyways using a helmet mount. But it's literally just those 3 bolts right there. This bolt right here, to take that out, those 2 right there, and that whole shift linkage comes out, or shift linkage, that whole shock linkage, rear linkage comes out, and you slide the bushings out of the center. You re-grease your bearings, make sure your bearings are good, and that's all there is to it. Yeah, until next time, guys. Peace.
Taylor about the fucking flex.